I think at the end of the day, when we get to a point where men and women have maybe, I don't know if it's similar positions or values of worth, whatever you want to say, we're going to be very consistent where you're going to see women do things that men do and men do things that women do. And so I think it's really just I think it's a little bit lazy, not because of you, but just everyone that might say, hey, I think women should be submissive to their husband. And I'll stop there, I guess.
Okay. So you spoke on two different areas. You were speaking to like women in general, like on a societal level, and then you're also speaking about on a relationship level as well. Do I understand that right? Yep. So you're speaking at societal level and relationship level. If we're speaking at societal level, the question that I would pose to you is, would we ever see, ever in our lifetime, since we only have two sexes, male and female, will we ever see women enforce males' rights?
Sure. I guess I'd ask what you mean by rights, but yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Okay. You think that we will come to a point where we would see that women are the ones that enforce males' rights?
I think, like I said before, if we're on this similar page, we're both reinforcing each other's. That's hierarchy. You talked about that earlier. Like, you're talking about hierarchy from a male perspective, but really hierarchy it's not female or male, it's human. And so, I mean, it's been since crabs that, I mean, hierarchy has been around for billions of years. And so when you talk about female and male, you're misconstruing what hierarchy actually means. Hierarchy is a conversation between 2, 3,
That's not
4,
what I'm asking you right now.
No,
Danny?
I'm answering your question. What was your question then? I'm answering it right now.
My question.
No, what's your question? Yeah.
My question is this. Will you ever in your lifetime, will you ever see, or maybe even outside of your lifetime, will you ever see women enforce and give men rights?
Well, like I said, we're a hierarchy, so we balance rights across demographics. So, of course, you see it all the time.
And what are rights to you?
Well, you're the one that posed a question.
I'm asking you based off of
you ask me a question, I respond to you, and then I have to describe your point.
Not my point.
You asked me
what is your interpretation of rights?
Well, I think rights are ever changing, actually. We had different rights 1,000 years ago than we do today. So it's what's consistent with human values. How about that?
So rights is what's consistent with human values. And is rights a social construct?
What do you mean?
Like, is rights just a construct in the mind, or is rights real?
Well, I mean, I think it's a combination. I think it depends on where you live. If you're spiritual, then you may think it's God. But at the end of the day, it's humans deciding what humans deserve.
If it's humans deciding what humans deserve, then from that standpoint, then rights themselves is just a construct of the mind, because it's what humans deciding what humans deserve. So it's a social construct based off of what we all agree what humans deserve.
Well, no, I mean, do you believe in God?
I do, but I'm asking you.
Well, I mean, it's not just you asking me questions, man. It's a conversation, but I hear you. Like, there's things that I don't know the answer to that I think are outside of my knowledge. It doesn't mean it's a social construct, though.
Okay. So if rights are not a social construct, then can you touch and smell a right?
Man, you're reading off ChatGPT, bro.
I'm not reading off of anything. I'm just asking you a question.
Dude, I'm happy to answer, man. It doesn't feel like a conversation and more like a description as I hear you type in the background. But okay, can you answer your question
I'm not
again?
Typing in the background. That's a lie.
You were. Now you're reading off of what you typed before, but that's fine. What was your question?
You're lying right now. I'm not typing in the background. So when I look this way,
I said, do you see how you talk about specific time intervals? And then when I say 10 minutes ago, you're like, that's not what you said. Are you married?
If I was before, then I was typing down when you first started speaking. I was typing down what you said because I took notes. You said female submission is basically similar to male submission. So that's what I wrote down. Currently, right now, I'm not typing anything. I'm not reading off of anything.
You're just asking me the questions.
I'm asking you
what you wrote.
No, I didn't write that down. Instead of obfuscating, why don't you just...
Here we go. Big words. Here we go. Then
instead of obfuscating...
Ask the question
I'm going to ask it again.
Ask the question. Thank you.
Okay. So from under your view, if rights are not a social construct, right? But how you described it,
by the way, I didn't say that. What do you mean by social construct again?
it's agreed upon.
By whom?
Like
Everyone
money,
consensus?
like money would be a social construct. Like the value of money would be a social construct.
So you're saying a social construct is the majority of society agreeing with something? Is that right? I'm not trying to get you here. I really am just trying to figure it out here.
Based off of what you said, that's what it would be.
Okay.
So remember, you said that, well,
That's fair.
rights
That's fair.
are...
That helps
you-
me answer.
Yeah, you said rights are people agreeing on what's best for society.
Humans. Yeah, humans. But yeah.
Humans
Yep.
agreeing. Yeah, humans agreeing on. That's people. Humans agreeing
Yeah,
on
but it's
what's
not fish or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't wanna
is.
get
Can a
that.
fish be a person?
Fish have feelings that I think that we're not
Can a
thinking about. We're
fish
talking
be a
about vegetarian.
person? Is fish people?
Well, my definition of people and persons has changed every single 100 years. We have a different version of what that is.
Okay.
Now
well,
we think it may be male, female, trans,
got it. So
gay.
how about you just answer the question for me, Danny? So I'll go ahead and state the question again.
please,
It's a
yeah.
very simple one. So
It's not
I
very
just
simple,
want.
by the way. If you think that's simple, that's not simple.
Okay. All right.
Go
Well,
ahead.
it is very simple. Either you believe that rights is something that's tangible, or you believe that it's intangible.
So can I ask you a question?
All right, fellas, mission is critical. I was searching my name online and found tons of information that was way too personal. So I thought to myself, who has the ability to leak this type of information? And I found out there's companies called data brokers that profit out of selling your information to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. You already know I've been through many matrix attacks where people create fake pages of mine by using my data. And the same can happen to you. That's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep them off of these sites. They also do other things like bank fraud, identity theft alerts, and also VPN access. I want you to go ahead and utilize my link below in the description box for a 14-day free trial. At least you'll see if you've been compromised or not. Privacy is key nowadays, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link in the description box at aura.com/nofugazi and get 2 weeks free. That's more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed.
How is this female and male? Where are you taking us here?
The point of me asking these questions
Man,
to
you're
you,
way off kilter.
no,
bro.
I'm not way off filter, Danny. It's just
You are, dude. You're
no,
you're not even in the
I'm
same
running
stratosphere
a
anymore.
line of argument. I'm running a line of argument because once again, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'll go ahead and map it all out
My
for you, and
God,
then
thank you.
I'll have
Jesus
you try to refute it. So here's the argument, right?
Got it.
You
Here.
say that female submission and male submission is similar, and that somewhere in some way during some time in the future, men and women is basically going to be doing the same thing for one another. They're going to be doing the same thing for one another. That's what came out of your mouth. Do I have that accurate? So I'm just asking you, based off of that, it's very simple. If it's the case that in the future, men and women can do the same things, can women ever enforce men's rights?
Can you tell me what you mean by enforce men's rights?
From what you've told me, your beliefs is and things like that, it would be a construct of the mind. If rights is just a construct of the mind, we only have two sexes, male and female. The only one that can enforce the right would be the males because the males are the stronger sex. Women themselves cannot enforce their own rights. Women would always have to appeal to men to enforce the rights for them. So if you say in some utopia future that, well, there is going to be a point where women can do the things that men can do, I'm asking you, would women ever be able to enforce men's rights?
Let me say this because I think we're a little bit diluted here. When you say rights,
We're not
you're
diluted.
Saying, we are because when you say rights, you're describing rights as being a social construct, and then you're giving no value to them. Just because it's a social construct doesn't mean that it's not human and valuable to us.
No,
So
I
when
didn't
you
say anything like that. What you're talking about.
No. That's what you're saying with your interpretation of it, though, because you're
No.
saying no. You said rights are a social. Let me describe your case, just like you did mine, and tell me if I'm wrong. You're saying
No.
rights
I
are.
just described your
let me
case.
describe it, bro. Just give me a second.
Danny,
but-
I
what,
described
man?
your case, Danny.
You didn't, because you're trying to cover
Okay.
rights and all these
Danny.
other undermining things. And when I ask you a thing about it, all I want to do is understand your interpretation of rights. What you're saying is that rights are socially constructed, and because men are stronger than women, that's why they'll never be able to enforce rights of men, and therefore they'll never actually be on a consistent level with men, which is just like ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and that's
How
what
is
I'm
it
hearing from you.
ridiculous?
Because you're thinking that rights, and this is why I said before, you're thinking that rights don't have value. You're thinking, let's say this here. So you're saying, you said my experience was utopian, yet you're calling out a life where women can't call out other men for their rights?
No,
That
Danny,
doesn't
you don't
sound
understand.
That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying
Danny.
women aren't strong enough to overtake
No,
men,
Danny.
so therefore they'll never be able to have rights.
No, Danny, that's not what I'm saying. So
Then
follow
say it,
me
man.
here, Danny. I'm gonna
I
need you to
followed
I'm
you
gonna
this
need you to
in-
answer these questions now, because I tried to skip ahead, and skipping ahead didn't work.
Dude, you're just
and I knew it
avoiding,
wouldn't
bro.
work.
Yeah,
No, I
I'm
knew
sure
I
you did.
truly knew it wouldn't
You're
work
doing
with
the
you.
same
You just
thing
won't
every single
understand.
time, bro.
You just won't
I
understand.
just recapitulated your entire
No,
stance, and then you're moving
Danny.
on. All I said
Is
was,
it my
you said rights
Danny?
are
Stop it!
socially
Shut up, Danny.
constructed.
Danny, stop it! Just shut up. Listen, calm down. One mic at a
Don't
time.
tell me to shut the up, dude.
Did I say the F word?
I don't care, dude. You told me to shut up.
No,
and you wanna,
did I
like,
say
oh,
the-
you
Danny.
You didn't say the F word, so it's
Danny.
not okay. So you could throw
Danny.
an epithet at me, but just
Did
because
I
you didn't
say
say
the
word,
F
it's not
word?
okay. Guys, does everyone see? He
Danny,
just says,
listen.
I throw an epithet, but it doesn't have an F word, so it's not as bad. Like,
You
this is what
just
this guy
said
does, bro.
that don't tell me to shut the
Man,
F
you're
up.
not married at
I
all.
told
guarantee
you
Can
to
hold your
shut
finger
up, not to shut the F up, Danny.
Okay,
That's
and
what
here
I told
go.
you.
You focus on an exact
Danny,
example. So
You
can
look
get
like
authority over
Butterbean.
the
I don't know why
situation.
you're making ad hominem attacks. You look like Butterbean. We
least I
can
can
do
think.
the attacks,
I'm
or we
trying
can
to
get
talk
back
to you,
to
bro.
the debate.
You could pretend like it's
Which one you want to do? Which one you want to
I'm
do?
trying to actually recapitulate. your
Danny,
stance. How about
which one do you
how about
want to
I
do?
say this? How about I say this? I'll
So, Danny,
restate your
listen.
stance.
It's
So
very-
you ask
it's
me
very
a
simple,
question,
Danny.
And then I try and answer you. and
Danny,
then
it isn't your
interrupt
show,
me.
so I'm going to ask you these questions again. Oh, now he leaves. He left. Stupid dork. Oh, well, that's what you believe. No, you're the one. That's your belief. It was an internal critique, Danny. I said, what are rights? Well, rights are things that we agree on. If it's good for us, that's what we agree on. So it's a social construct. Yeah, so if it's things that we agree on, then the value of those things could change. He starts to bring in value in there. Well, no, Danny, you knucklehead. You butterbean looking bald head Beavis. So he didn't understand force doctrine. I was going through force doctrine with him, and he didn't want to answer any questions. So this is why he couldn't get there. If it's the case that rights, by his view, is just what we all agree on, that's what he said rights are, is things that we all agree on that's good for us, right? So therefore, it's a social construct. Can you touch a right? Can you smell a right? No, it's nothing. It's just a construct of the mind that we all agree on. So this construct in the mind, someone has to enforce this construct in our mind. If we write it on a piece of paper, well, is the piece of paper going to enforce something, or is human beings going to enforce something? Human beings would enforce the thing that was in our mind, then the thing that's on the paper, human beings would do that. And there's only two sexes, right? Which sex would be capable of enforcing their rights over the other sex? Well, males, because males are stronger. Physically, has there ever been a matriarchy that stood the test of time? No, there's not been one. There's always been patriarchies. Men enforcing rights for other men and men enforcing rights for women. There's never been a situation where women enforced rights for men. That's never been, and it never will be. So when I asked him the question, because in his utopia future, well, submission for males and submission for females will be similar. I believe, I had a dream. He gave a Martin Luther King speech. I have a dream that one day men and women would be able to do the same things for one another. Then I cook him with the question, well, will women ever be able to enforce rights for men? Oh, homie was scratching like a DJ. Homie was scratching like a DJ. He was spinning records. He didn't know what to do. He says, oh, well, and then he starts to obfuscate. He starts to speak about, well, you're typing. I wasn't typing anything. I'm looking like this right now because I predicted the entire conversation already because I debated multiple people like you, Danny. So I know everything that you're going to say from the beginning to the end. It's an internal critique. He didn't understand these things. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.